morning, everybody. So this is another episode of Tech Thursday, and we have Mark Jenkins here, who is one of our realtors. He's going to go over Facebook ads. He can talk about Facebook ads for days because he is a marketing machine. So, excuse me. Um, Without further ado, you go ahead, Mark.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining in the Tech Thursday. I got a lot of great information for you all. This information is going to do wonders for your business if you apply it. Thanks for Maximum One for having me on today. Just a little bit about myself. I have been a real estate agent for over 3 years. My background is actually in marketing. I spent time working in corporate America. I used to work for NASCAR. I worked for Cox Media Group. I worked for Hearst Media. So I've got a background in marketing. I've got some great things that I'm going to share with you all today that have helped my business be successful. When I first got started into real estate, I'm only 32 years old, and a lot of my friends and family members, unfortunately, they weren't homeowners. So my best way to really grow my business in real estate was through marketing. One of the best tools that I've used over the years has been Facebook. And I'll give you a few reasons why Facebook is a great marketing platform compared to almost any other platform before we even get started today. My first thing is cost. Facebook is a great platform because as realtors, we always get these calls from like Zillow and Homes.com and all of these other places. And they're always like, sign up for this program. It's going to be like $300 a month. And then what do? You sign up for a program and you don't get anything, right? So one of the reasons why Facebook is a really good place is because it allows you to not only control your costs, right, but you actually get something back in return for your marketing dollars. The second thing that makes Facebook such a great platform to be able to market and display what's going on with your business and also generate leads is because it's where everybody is, right? Everybody doesn't have TikTok, right? So, I mean, if we're thinking about the type of clients that we're working with in the real estate industry, we're usually talking about people in their, mid 30s and up. Facebook is the one platform that we know that everybody who we're dealing with, for the most part, is going to be on that platform, right? Another good reason that Facebook is really great to use is because they also own Instagram, which is another platform that is really awesome in terms of reaching people with pictures, with videos, and other things like that. So those are three really good reasons. I'm going to give you many more reasons today why Facebook is a great thing for your business, as well as show you how to get started with your Facebook marketing for your business. Now, I want this to be interactive. I want this to be fun for everybody. So if y'all are ready to go ahead and get started with Facebook and learning, I want you to type learn in the chat box so I'll know everybody's tuned in and nobody is asleep. All right, hit that chat box. Let us know y'all ready. Let's go. Let's go. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to share my screen here, all right? And the reason why I don't already have Facebook pulled up is because I'm gonna walk you through everything that you need to really go ahead and get started as we talk about the do's and the don'ts of Facebook marketing, all right? So let's go ahead and get out of time. I want y'all to steal my clients now. I'm just joking. All right, so we're gonna go to Facebook, right? So how many people know how to actually access Facebook ads? Like let me get a 1 in the chat if you know how to get there. Let me get a 2 in the chat if you don't know how to even get the Facebook ads. Y'all hit that chat. We're gonna make this interactive and fun today. We got some ones. Okay. So Michelle, you know how to get the Facebook ads. What about everybody else? Do you know how to already access Facebook ads? Right? Okay. Cool. Okay. So we know how to get the Facebook ads, right? So let's go ahead and get on in there. Right? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the do's and don'ts, right? Because how many people have actually used Facebook to market their real estate business and had a good experience with it so far? Let me get a 1 for yes, 2 for no. You actually made money off of Facebook marketing. That's good. Okay, so we got some 1s, we got some 2s. All right. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about with Facebook ads is the do's. As we go ahead and go on over here, the first thing that you want to do is understand your goal. Facebook ads are very intricate, right? They seem easy because it's like, wow, I can go in and do something and, something that anybody can do. I can get on my computer, I can type in some information, and, it's really simple to do that. But that really isn't the case, right? Because when we're advertising on Facebook, we really want to understand what our true goal is, right? There are many different types of campaigns that are available with Facebook marketing. But the first thing is you want to understand your goal, right? So for the people in class right now, right? What is your goal using Facebook, right? Do you want to brand? So do you want more people to just learn information about you? Is it more of a, I want to be more recognized in the local community? Do you want to generate leads, right? Are you like, I need people to talk to on Facebook or from Facebook that help me generate my business? Or is there something else? Are you promoting an event? Like I do home buyer seminars every single month, right? Is it that you want to promote an event that's coming up? Maybe you're promoting an open house, right? Maybe you're promoting some type of home buyer seminar or home seller seminar that you're doing. So the very first step before you click start anything on Facebook, you have to make sure that you understand your goal. Okay. Now, I'll give you the information because I'm not going to tell you something that I don't do. Okay. So I have really 3 goals for Facebook. All right. My first goal is for people to meet me. Okay. So before I even get to generating leads, right, you have to think about, do people really know who you are? You can show a lead to somebody. You can have a lead ad going to somebody on Facebook, but if they don't really know who you are they really going to want to go ahead and do business with you? Are they going to give you their phone number and their email address and give you all sorts of information without at least knowing something about you? Probably not. So my first goal, giving you what we do, my first goal is for people to meet me. Okay. My second goal is to engage people. Okay. So remember, I'm meeting people first. The second thing that I'm doing is engaging people. And then the third thing that I'm doing is generating leads off of Facebook, right? But I'm not doing one without the other, right? So the first thing that you want to do is understand what your goal is. Now, after you finish your goal, right, you've got these several options available. You've got several options available to get out of here. All right, you got several options available to be able to help you accomplish the goal, right? And these are really the conversion part you're not really going to use, right? You're really not going to use that because in real estate, conversions, those are more like for like e-commerce stores and things like that. So we're going to focus on the 2 things, the 2 categories that are available. And we're just going to talk a little bit about making sure that you understand how to use them, right? So first things first, brand awareness, right? We have people in here that have been doing real estate 10 years. We have people that have been doing it 3 years. We probably have some new agents watching as well, right? So the way that you want people to be aware of your brand is going to be different based on what you've already established in the local community. How many people on here have Facebook pages? Can I get a 1 for if you do have a Facebook business page, 2 if you don't? All right, let's see what we got here. We got 1s. Okay, now if you hit 1, how many followers do you have on your Facebook page? How many likes or followers do you have right now? Okay, looks like quite a few people have Facebook pages, which is good. How many followers? All right, so you've got 1,000. Very good, very good. 1,000 is good. So Miss Foster, you have 1,000. Miss Michelle, you have around 650. Okay. All right. So very good number so far. Very good number so far, right? We have 370. Okay. 370, 909. Okay, good. So you all already have a sizable Facebook following. Those who have Facebook followings over about 500 to 700, you have more followers than the average realtor business in your local area, which is good, right? But the question is, how many followers do you think you really need to have for you to really have an impact in the local community? Has anybody checked out to see how many followers Mark Spain has? Because I know they have at least 25,000, right? So that's one of the first things that you want to do. We want to get our follower count up to at least 2 or 3,000. Okay, right now having 7, 8, 900, 1,000, that's good. But we have to use these tools available to get our follower counts up to quite a bit. I have 910 followers right now, or 911 as of this morning. All right. So you have two things, and followers is one thing. Don't get me wrong; it's very important, right? But now, when it comes to understanding the campaign types, right? If we want to get more followers from our Facebook page, obviously we have to do the engagement ads, right? And I'm going to give you some examples of ads that I'm using right now to be able to engage people, right? But I want you all to begin to think of Facebook as a funnel, right? The first thing that we want to do on Facebook is make sure that we're engaging people. We cannot ask people for their business until we're engaging them, right? So I know you've been to a website before online to where like you typed in like running shoes, for example, right? You typed in running shoes in Google, you may have went to Foot Locker. And then everywhere else that you went online, everywhere else you saw all these different ads for running shoes and other things like that, right? So that's the same type of things that we can be able to do with Facebook, but we have to engage them. So I'm going to show y'all an example of some of my ads that we use for engaging people as well. And feel free to ask questions as we're going on along with that here. All right. So I have a campaign that's built strictly to engage people, right? Now, I'm engaging people on Facebook right now, as you can see. You can just go this month, right? All right. So the first thing I want to show you all is how many results, right? So just this month alone, I've engaged almost 17,000 people on Facebook with some type of engagement. That means that 17,000 people this month have learned something about my business, something about that we offer, some of the services that we offer, right? Now, I want you to understand that Facebook is not a very expensive thing to advertise on if you have good ads. So as you can see here in this category here, I spent $137. $137 to be able to engage and interact with almost 17,000 people. Okay. So the first thing is, like I said, understand your goal. If your goal is building your business, we need to go ahead and have these different types of campaigns in place. So your first thing that you want to do today, you need to go ahead and get started with some type of campaign that's going to engage people, right? So you go to ad campaigns, create it, and you want to start an ad campaign that engages people, all right? Okay. Now, the next thing is you want to come up with good ads, good content, right? So you have to understand what your people are looking for. What do people want to see when they actually come to Facebook, right? What are the type of ads that are going to engage people, right? And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some of our best ads. And let me know if y'all are having a problem seeing my screen because I'm moving a lot of things around, or if y'all have any questions while we're doing this as well too. So you have to understand, you have to really understand who is your ideal client, because your ideal client in person is the same person online, believe it or not. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about one of my best ads. I was able to engage 5,000 people. Okay. And this ad, I hope it actually show the ad versus how to edit it. Sorry. Okay. So How do I come up with my ads on Facebook? First, I start. It's not gonna let me shoot. Okay. Oh, I can't see the whole thing again. Darn it. Okay. I'm gonna pull this up another way and see if I can see the whole thing. Yeah, it's not gonna show me the whole thing. Okay. So we'll just talk about some good ads that are good to engage people. The first thing is video. Like you have to use video. The days of using just like photos are done. Like they're not going to help you get engagements. So when you're actually out showing houses, when you're actually out meeting with clients, when you're at closings, I want you to get in the habit of videoing everything. Record everything. The interaction that you have with clients, make sure that you record those, right? And then the first step of what I do is I test to make sure that the ad is going to be something that people are going to like. So the first thing that I do is I'm going to post that video to my business page before I even create an ad, right? And you all know how we get those things underneath the videos that show us how many people that ad has reached, how many people liked it and things like that. The videos that are successful there, those are the ones that you should be using to engage your audience. Now, what does that do for you when you're actually engaging these people? Okay. How many people have come up with custom audiences for Facebook? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you have come up with custom audiences, or 2 if you haven't? Ones and twos, ones and twos. We got a 1, we got a 1, ones and twos. All right. So for the people who haven't, let's see, we got somebody else who has okay. So for the people who haven't, the reason why you want to come up with custom audiences is we don't want to just see somebody on Facebook one time, right? Those 17,000 people who I've engaged through these Facebook ads that we've been using over just the last month, or over this month, excuse me. So just 1 month, I've engaged 17,000 people. Those people are going to see my face again, right? So if you don't have custom audiences and things like that set up, they'll never see you again. So they'll see your ad, they'll think, that's a really nice realtor. It looks like they do a good job. But if they don't ever see you again, can they really do business with you? They can't. So one of the things that we do here is we make sure that we have our custom audiences set up as well too. All right. So from the Facebook campaign page, you're going to click on these little dots here that says business tools. Okay. Once you click on that, you can click on audiences. Now, audiences are good because they help you reconnect with the people who are supporters of your page. So it's okay to advertise to the people who like your page, but that's a very small pool. But let's talk about some of the things that you can do with actual custom audiences and lookalike audiences, right? So some of the things that I've done with custom audiences is, get this out the way, get it out the way here. Some of the things that you're able to do with custom audiences is here, right? So we can actually get connected and stay connected with the people that don't follow our business page, but have actually interacted with some of our ads, right? Or our website. So for example, if you're getting people to go to your website, you can remarket to them by creating an audience, a custom audience for people who have been to your website. How many people actually download leads from places like Cold Data? So let's say like you're prospecting for people who are interested in selling their home, or who are people who have good credit. Get a 1 in the chat for people who prospect for people from Cold Data and other places. All right. And so what you can do with those lists is you can actually upload a customer list into Facebook. Right. So let's say if you go into Cold Data and you say, I want to get in front of people who have credit scores of over 650 in a certain area. When you download their information and have their email as well, did you know that you can upload those people actually into Facebook and be able to reach those people again? Right? And so you can still be able to engage with those people. The same thing with video. So when you advertise video on Facebook, it's going to let you know how many people are actually watching that video. But then on top of that, You can segment the video based on how long somebody watches your video. So you can come in and create a custom audience, for example. So if we wanted to create a custom audience, and I'm saying, okay, I can click all of these different types of people and figure out who are my most important people. People who have watched only 3 seconds of my video are very acutely interested, right? But people who have watched 75% of my video, those are the type of people who I know will do business with me in the future because they've already learned quite a bit about my business. They already know what we have to offer. And without doing things like creating these different audiences and having different criteria set, we're unable to move past the first step. Okay. So the first step that we're talking about here right now for the people who just got in is how to truly engage the audience on Facebook, right? So the first campaign everybody should have set up before we get to generating leads. The very first campaign that you want to have is engagement, because there's a rule in marketing. It goes ACD, right? ACD. I want you to think of all your marketing ACD. The A stands for awareness. Is the customer aware of you? Do they understand what you have to offer? The second thing is consideration. Why should they consider you versus another realtor, another agent? Why should they consider you for buying their house? And then 3 is decision making. What is it going to take for them to get in front of you? What is it going to take for them to actually give you the information that they have to provide for them to actually become one of your customers, right? So I want you to think of your marketing in terms of that. If you're doing any type of marketing outside of Facebook, you need to ask yourself that question. Is it accomplishing A, C, D in that order? Okay. So the first thing that we talked about in terms of the do's of understanding Facebook marketing, one is understanding your goal, right? Understanding your goal is extremely important. If you don't have a goal, you're just going to waste money. I run into realtors all the time. They're like, hey, Mark, I've tried Facebook marketing. I didn't get anything back from it. Didn't understand your goal, right? The second thing is understanding campaign types. So we can go back to that and talk about that just a little bit more. If you have questions, feel free to stop me, but we're going to go back and look at these campaign types and then go through some of them. Okay. All right. All right. So along with awareness, which, like I said, you want to think of Facebook as a funnel because we're going A, C, D: awareness, consideration, decision making. Okay. So the A in this format that we're talking about is engagement or brand awareness. That is the first campaign you need to set up. Okay. Now, the second thing, consideration. How do we get people from just knowing about us to actually really wanting to do business with us, right? And that's where things like page likes and events come in, right? So that's the next thing that we want to focus on as realtors and marketing professionals is now that somebody has seen our information, now we want to ask for something for them in return or be able to give them something. So how many people have home buyer or seller's guides already put together or events? You get a 1 in the chat if you do, 2 if you don't. Seller's guides, buyer's guides, or events already put together for people. All right. So live, sell, play, Tampa Bay, right? Are you running ads actually giving that away to people for free? Oh, Michelle, sorry. Are you running ads giving that away to people, Michelle? Right. Been trying to, right? And I would imagine, sorry, my phone is ringing. Let me cut that off. I apologize, class. And I would imagine that one of the challenges that you're finding, right, is that people either aren't signing up or it's costing you more than you would expect to get people to sign up, right? And so, like we're talking about here, the main thing we want to start out with is engaging people first. If people just see you asking, hey, I'm Michelle or I'm Mark Jenkins. Just come to my class, right? They don't know you. They don't know you. Think about all the steps that it takes for somebody to advertise to you, right? So the mindset is awareness, consideration, decision making. Okay. So the first thing, like we talked about, is awareness, getting people aware of who you are. Now, engaging. Michelle, you are on the right track. And for those people who are in this class and you don't have anything of value, you should start working on that today. Because before we get people to become our clients online, we have to give them something. So Michelle has things like her buyer's guide. I have things like my free home buyer class. And other people, you have experience. You have experience that you can give to people. So I want you to think about what is it that you can provide. It could be something just as short as a short PDF on how to buy a home. It could be something just as short as, how to win a bid in a low inventory market, right? I want you all to start to think about the things that we can give out for free for people to actually consider us. Those are the things that we have to do as realtors and professionals. We have to be able to give people something, because guess who we're competing with? We're competing with people like Mark Spain, who has seemingly endless budget for marketing. We're competing with larger teams that do 50, 80, $100 million worth of real estate in our markets, right? So we have to think about what can we give away to people. So there's a few things that you can do. If you don't have a buyer's guide, or if you don't have a seller's guide and you want to do one, I want you to go to a website called Fiverr. Fiverr. Fiverr.com. You can put in your criteria and you can get things written up for you, like a buyer's guide or a seller's guide, right? And when you get that, guess who we're going to advertise to? Are we just going to advertise to random people saying, hey, come find out about our buyer's guide? No, right? We're going to start out by engaging people. Once we get that bucket set up with engaging people, we go get those people out of that bucket, the people who have engaged with our ad, engaged with our business, then we offer them something for free. Okay? Then we offer them something for free. All right? So the way that we do that is through these engagement ads. Okay? So when you do the engagement ads, you have a few different things that you can offer. Post engagement, page likes, event responses. All right? If you aren't doing some type of event online for clients right now, I'm telling you right now from experience, you are losing money, because everybody in this class right now has a wealth of information available. And how are people going to find out that you have their information available? They got to get in your class. You got to give them something for free, right? So that's another thing I want y'all to work on, is think about, how can I create some type of online event? Take advantage. It only takes an hour of your time to be able to educate people. We had last Sunday, we had a home buyers class. We had 55 people signed up. Now, probably because of the Falcons Cowboys game, we didn't get quite all 50 people actually in the class, but we had about 25 people in that class. 25 people attended class just to learn how to buy a home. And we already know that even if I just get one sale off of that, I spend like $120 marketing. One sale off of that, obviously, I'm not a mathematician, but it's going to be quite a few 100% in return. Okay. So, let's see here. So we got the first part, um, getting awareness for your business, for your craft. All right. The next thing is, how do we come up with a good ad? And I'm actually going to share one of my ads that I shot yesterday. This actually isn't even live on Facebook. But let me see here how I can show that. And if y'all have any questions while I'm pulling this up, please feel free to add. If you missed something or I skipped over something that you wanted to hear, just let me know. Let me stop my share and do a new share. Let me just share my entire screen. Okay. Let me just share everything. All right. Can you all see my file screen here? I get a 1 for a yes. Can y'all see the files here that I'm about to pull up? Just want to make sure. Can I see it? Okay, good. All right. So this is an ad that I actually shot yesterday. All right. And so the reason I'll give you some background on this ad. The reason why I actually shot this ad is like who is, I don't want to say tired, but who is having challenges working with a certain price point, right? We all know that anything under like $150,000 is like one of the hardest things that we can be able to work with right now, right? Because it's just not enough inventory and these homes go fast, right? So I'm like, okay, I have to figure out a way to get a higher ticket lead, right? Being that I'm young, I'm 32. Most of my clients are first time home buyers. So not many of my clients have the money to be able to purchase $400,000 home, but I do have a tool. My tool is Facebook. I have that tool available to me. And if I just come up with a good ad and show people who have already showed that they support my business through engaging or actually liking my page, then I have a much better chance of showing them some good information. So I want y'all to listen in on this ad here that we did. And I don't even know if this is actually going to play because I'm using my Bluetooth to talk to you all. But if it doesn't play, that's fine, right? I want you all to just understand. Basically, what I'm saying is just like we're talking about awareness, consideration, decision making. So I'm in front of a house, $450,000. The first thing that I'm talking about in this ad is letting people know that if you're looking to buy a luxury home, right now is a really good time. Then I talk about how mortgage interest rates are at all-time lows, and then I talk about what I can do for you as an agent in terms of helping you find and secure these homes. Pretty much going through the ACD route. Awareness is, hey, by the way, now is a good time to buy a luxury home. Consideration, by the way, mortgage interest rates are at all-time lows. Plus, I have conventional loan lenders who allow you to do as little as 3% down. And decision making is I help families just like you find, buy, and sell luxury homes. If you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and get started. I'll get started with you right now. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to start to put together ads and things like that. So you can actually be able to convert some of these leads on Facebook, convert some of these people. Same thing for your buyers and for your buyers guides and for your sellers guides, right? Putting out an ad saying that you have a seller's guide that's okay if you're using a photo, but actually take the time, shoot a video, invest in your business, right? I invested in this banner right here. I have shot so many videos in front of this step and repeat banner. Cost me $100. Cost me $100. So now guess what? Every time I want to jump in and do something, do some type of video, I've got my professional background behind me. I've got my company in there. So what you want to do when we're talking about engaging people, those post likes, right? Those things, those post likes, those events responses, those page likes, we have to actually have something that we're giving away. All right. So for just a quick recap of where we've been so far. First, you want to understand your goal. Second, you want to understand the different campaign types. And the third is coming up with a good ad, right? You don't cut on the TV and see McDonald's with the photo of a burger. They take the time to think about what do people really want to see. And the good thing is in real estate, we have like the number one thing people want to see. People love seeing houses, right? So we have to really sit there, take the time and see what it takes to actually come up with a good ad. And if you're doing real estate, guess what? You're having good ads every single day. Whether you're just calling some clients, you can pop on the camera. Hey, this is Michelle Rosser. I've got over a decade worth of experience helping clients and families near you. I'm actually getting ready to speak with some now. But if you're interested in finding out more about real estate, give me a call. Cut. That's the type of information that people should be able to see from you all from thousands and thousands of times a day. And I just showed you all. It does not cost much. It doesn't cost much, right? I pay a penny every time somebody sees a video like that from me. 1 penny every time. Here it is right here. Cost per result. 1 cent. 1 cent. There is no other way that we as realtors can be able to gain market share for less than a penny. For less than a penny, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing that. I'm gonna see what's going on in the chat. Somebody just saw something. Michelle, I promise you, with the equipment, I'll show y'all what to get. And Tom Ferry said these same things. I already had this stuff. I will show you what to get. This is called a gimbal. This is called a gimbal. So everybody has done video before, and you're like, got it in your hand. You're like, man, I don't like this video because it's shaky. Buy a gimbal. A gimbal only costs you about $125. You can get them off Amazon. That's Gimbal. Buy a gimbal. You can stick your phone in it, and it will hold your phone steady, and you could pretty much do jumping jacks if you want to. You could be running, jogging, doing whatever, and it will keep your phone steady. That will give you high quality video to be able to put it in front of people. And the second thing is the lapel mic. This is like $7 on Amazon, right? So I get it. Like, yes, I probably do make it sound really simple, right? And that's because, I've been doing this for some time. I have a background in marketing. But Michelle, you also know, you see me in the office all the time. Sister, you can walk in my office anytime and say, Mark, can you help me with something? So it actually is simple. When you have people like myself around, I'm not in competition with anybody. I believe that what God has for me, I'm going to have either way. So I would love to see you grow your business too. Not to get on that level, but if anybody ever wants to have like a one-on-one call, hey Mark, can you review my ads? Can you give me some ideas, right? And it is very simple. Put yourself out there, get in front of that camera, right? And record some of these things. You'll be surprised at how many things that you as a realtor know that people don't know. In fact, 99% of the stuff that we know, people have no idea about, right? And they need our help. So the next thing is set goals and expectations, right? So after we understand what our goal is, whether it be generating leads, getting in front of a certain type of client, or getting more sellers or getting more buyers, after we've decided which campaign we want to use to actually get started with that, after we've come up with a good ad using video and giving compelling information, teaching somebody something, now the next thing you want to do is set goals and expectations, right? And make them realistic. I mean, what is it that everybody wants? Do you want one client off of Facebook? Is it 10? Is it 5? Do you want to, for Michelle down in Tampa Bay, do you want to take your page followers from 1,000 to 2,000, right? Set your goals, write them down, right? Because when you set your goals and you write them down for online marketing, it is very easy to actually check those metrics and actually be able to see where it's going, right? And that's the next thing we're talking about is checking metrics. How many people who are doing Facebook marketing check their metrics quite frequently? I'm gonna get a one for yes, 2 for no. Okay. So for the people who don't, we're gonna go ahead and just talk quickly about checking metrics, right? We got a 2 for maximum 1. Maximum 1, you need to do better. All right. So let's take a look at these metrics, right? I'm gonna put it up for the entire campaign. So what you do is you want to check your metrics, you just come in here and you click view charts. Okay. The reason why you want to check metrics is you have to make sure that you or whatever you're saying or whatever kind of ad that you're using is actually getting in front of the right people. One of the things that a lot of people make mistakes on is they're not even sure that their ads reaching the right people. They're not sure that the right people are actually seeing their information, right? So let's take a look at these post engagements. I have 27,000 post engagements, since August 27th. So in under a month, I've engaged almost 28,000 people, each of them for 1 cent apiece. Okay. So now the good thing about it is we can look at things like demographics. So let's take a look. All right. So the majority of the people that I've engaged is men, which I'm not engaging men. I'm engaged. Well, I'm married to a woman, so I'm not trying to engage any men. I'm just joking. But I've engaged mostly men through my ads, right? As you can see, 19,000 of my engagements have come from men. Now, as we know, a lot of women are the ones doing the shopping. Okay, so if I'm having a problem with the leads that I'm receiving, right? This is one of the places that I come to try to figure out, well, what am I doing right? Well, what am I doing wrong? Okay, if I'm engaging a lot of men, am I actually getting men to actually do business with me? The majority of my business is with women. It just is. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at in terms of gauging what I'm doing with my ads right now is just looking, okay, well, let's see, 18 to 24. Okay, that's only a small percentage of people. We know people generally 18 and 24 don't buy homes, right? But if I'm just looking at age wise, right, I'm right in the sweet spot for people who are buying homes, right? 25 to 54. Well, that's a pretty wide range. Let's say 25 to 44. As you can see, those are the majority of the people that I'm meeting. 17% of my engagements came from men age 35 to 44, right? Now, obviously, this is going to be different for every campaign, right? The goal of this is to really get in here, to dive in, and to understand who you're reaching. That way, you can tweak your ads to actually be able to change things like that. But if you don't check your metrics, you don't know exactly what's going on with your ads. You may like, I'll give you an example, right? I was running an ad that had like it was me, my wife, and Mickey Mouse. Like we were at a birthday party. It was a cool photo. Like I had on one of the shirts, like I always have on real estate shirts, and like it was just going crazy. Like I'm getting notifications all day, people liking and commenting. And so I came back and I checked the metrics on the ad, and I'm like, these are all teenagers. So it's like, teenagers aren't going to be able to buy homes. So, you really want to make sure that you get in here and you check your metrics. And this is more like a high overview of just the ad campaign. So we'll take a look at some of the actual specific ads. So let's take a look at some of the ads and see, who's interacting with them. All right. So let's see here. I got this LG promo that did pretty good. So let's see who's interacting with that. All right. Men again. I don't know. Y'all need the men. Y'all just don't call. I don't know what's going on. The women are making the killing with it. But we're getting a lot of activity from men, and it's the same story here. Same story here. Men aged 35 to 44 are my biggest group. Now, once you start to see things like that in your ad campaign, remember, ads are not meant for you to push your product just specifically. Ads are meant for you to engage with the people who engage with your business. There's a difference. I could get out here and say, hey, I'm selling homes for senior citizens, right? But what my metrics show me is that people age 65 and up, that only makes a small percentage of who's actually watching and interacting with my ads. So when I'm looking at things, well, I can say, okay, age 35 to 44. So now that I know that that's my bracket, now I can begin to dive into deeper things that affect that age group. That's where market research comes in. Okay, so you have to think about what does a male age 35 to 44 want to see? Obviously, they don't want to see Mickey Mouse, so that would be an ad that would cost me more money. All right, so diving into your metrics is extremely important in terms of what you're doing. Okay, so that finishes up the do's category. Okay, so just a quick recap, just so nobody misses anything. Right, the number one do of Facebook marketing and Facebook ads is understanding your goal. Okay, got somebody here in the chat. Just want to make sure I address everything. Yes, that's right. That's right. Always check. The number one goal of Facebook marketing for me, the Mark Jenkins way, is understanding your goal. If you don't have a clear goal, don't just go spend your money because you're going to waste it, right? Have a clear goal, have a clear plan of what you plan on accomplishing for your business through Facebook marketing. That's the first step. The second thing is understanding the different campaign types and how it will help you get there, right? If you just want to go and just like, if you just got a listing that just hit the market and you're like, man, I want to show this to everybody, understand which campaign matches that, okay? If you want to get page likes, like Michelle from Tampa Bay, if you want to get page likes and take your pages from 1 to 2 or 5,000, right? You got to understand what it takes to get there, which campaigns that you actually want to use to get there, all right? Number 3, come up with a good ad, all right? Third thing is come up with a good ad. The best way to test whether an ad will be good or not is to just post it to your regular business page. So before you can come up with the ad and like, you know what, I think this is going to be a good ad. Start out with the people on your business page, right? The people who are, have worked hard enough to have 500 or 1,000 likes, right? Post that ad to your business page. Michelle, when you're doing things working with clients, post a quick video. And guess what? Your people on your business page will let you know for free if that's a good ad before you spend money on it. Okay? All right. Next thing, set goals and expectations. Make sure you have goals and expectations for what you want to do with your online marketing. Know how many leads you want to get per day. Know how many likes you want to get per day. Because if you don't have some type of goal or expectation, you're going to waste money because you're not going to stay on track. You're not going to be able to do the things that you need to do. And the fifth thing is make sure that you check metrics. Okay, those are the things that you need to do. Okay, now on the flip side, things that you don't do. All right, we talked about the do's, we talked about the don'ts. All right, so the first thing that you don't do when it comes to Facebook marketing or Facebook advertising, however you want to call it, is don't forget to research. How many people research their audiences before they even start marketing to them? I get a 1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no, and 3 for I have no idea what you're talking about, Mark. 1s, 2s, and 3s. We have a 2, 2 and 3. We have a 2. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I answer that question, Miss Lisa. All right. So the first thing is the tab to check metrics. Okay. The tab to check metrics is when you go to your campaign, you just highlight the campaign and click on view charts. Okay. That was for Miss Foster because she asked a question. And if y'all got questions, ask them. I want to make sure that everything is understood and you guys and gals understand everything that we're talking about here today. All right, let's talk about research. I got something real special for you then. When you're thinking about research, you got to know. You're welcome, Miss Foster. You got to know who you're actually targeting. All right. They got these keywords. They've got these keywords, for example. They've got these keywords. Let's go to this base audience here. They've got these keywords in Facebook that you can use to target individuals, right? So obviously y'all know about location. I'm not gonna bore y'all out with that, right? But they got these keywords, right? They've got keywords like include people who match, cash out refinancing, or condominium, a first-time home buyer, right? Is any of this foreign to you all? Are you all new to these keyword targeting? 1 for yes, 2 for no. But they've got things, home equity line of credit, right? They've got all these different types of targeting methods that you can do on Facebook. And that's great. But the first thing that we have to do is we have to understand who they are before we even begin to market to them. So I'm going to show y'all a tool that you definitely should be using. Now we're in the don't section now. Number 1, don't forget to research. So let's go on down here. We're going to click on these little dots here that looks kind of like a dial pad. Click on those dots. All right. And then we're going to scroll on down, scroll on down, scroll on down. All right. Okay. And we're going to click on audience insights. Now, audience insights. How many people have used this before? One for yes, two for no. One for yes, two for no. Ah, okay. So we got a no, we got a no, we got another no, we got more no's, we got more no's. Yes, y'all are gonna learn something now. Y'all probably like, man, when you gonna talk about something that I ain't heard before? All right, so now audience insights is a very powerful tool because it lets you know not only who's interacting with your page, but more importantly to you as a marketer, what are they likely to do and who they are, right? So let's take a look. All right, we're gonna not do every people connected to your page because that's more of a broad view, right? Well, let's just go everyone on Facebook, right? So we are going to do, and it allows you to separate everything based on things like region, location, age, gender, right? But because of advertising policies and non-discrimination, we're just gonna do location, all right? So we're just gonna say Atlanta, Georgia, all right? Atlanta. I didn't know it was Atlanta, Mississippi. Didn't know that. All right, Atlanta, Georgia. So how does this tool really help you as a marketer? I'll tell you how. So let's say we want to know, we're going by interest, right? So let's say first time home buyers. First time buyer. First time home buyer. Oh no, that's first time home buyer, great. Oh, we can do let's just do first time home buyer. We're just gonna talk about first time home buyers, right? Now, the great thing about this audience insights tool is it tells you what you need to know about who falls into this group so we can figure out how to market to them. Keep in mind, like I said before, we do not make ads to market to people. We find the people and we make ads that fit for them, right? So when we're looking at first time home buyer here in Atlanta, some of this stuff may surprise you. Some of this stuff may surprise you. Like it tells you exactly who these people are, right? So we know based on Facebook's information, and we know that that's why Facebook is free because they're collecting information for people like us, advertisers. We know that 62% of women here, 62% of the first time buyers here in Atlanta, Georgia, are women. Not only do we know that they're aged 25 to 34, 37% of them are aged 25 to 34, 29% of them are aged 35 to 44. All right. Same demographics for men, just a significantly less number because 62% of women are in those first time home buyer interests, 38% of men. Now, just to give you a quick example. So let's just say if you have, let's just say if you were to run an ad that, let's say like you're giving away Falcons tickets, which I know nobody would probably want right now, but let's say you're giving away Falcons tickets, right? That's something that generally we would think would appeal a little bit more to men than women. Obviously, we have a lot of women football fans, so I'm not trying to say that. But I'm just saying if we're doing a first time buyer ad, right? And we want to get into the majority of people. It would not make sense for us to do a first time buyer ad about Falcons tickets and say, hey, buy a house from me, you're gonna get Falcons tickets, right? Because when we do the research, we're finding out that over half, 62% of those women, if we're advertising the first time home buyer, if we're advertising the first time home buyers, we know that 62% of those people are women. So it would not make sense for us to do that. That's the first thing that research does for us, right? So it lets us know who matches up with what interest. We've seen the interest on one side when we're picking out who we want to market to. But now, through checking things like audience insights, it tells us who is actually in that audience so we can know which ad is more effective to them. Second thing, all right? Now, we know that out of the first time home buyers, right, the majority of them are single. So what have we learned so far? If I'm creating an ad that's only going to go to people who are interested who are first-time buyers, I have already learned that the majority of them, 62% of them are women, and I've already learned that 47% of them are single. Okay. Now, what you choose to use, how you choose to use that information, obviously, that that's up to you and how you want to create your ad, right? I don't think you should. I don't think you can do something where like, hey, if you're single and looking for a house, give me a call. Like, I don't think you should do something like that. But these are the things that you have to get into the psychology of thinking. This also helps you when you're actually, marketing out and about too. Even though the class isn't about offline marketing, but I mean, just think if you see a young lady, age 25 to 44, chances are she's one of those first-time home buyers, and the chances are that she's single as well. That's not my information. That's what Facebook says, and they got a lot more information than I do. Now, the next thing that you'll find out, right, is that the majority of them are also college educated, right? So this is why I talked about having a class. If you see the correlation and where I'm going with this, go ahead and type one in the chat. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it while y'all are typing, right? This is the reason why I said it's important to have a class. The people who we're looking to get in front of, the majority of them, they are college educated, which means they already understand the value of learning information. If you're not trying to teach them information and they have already shown you through the numbers that they already have a college education, so they've been through some years of learning, they understand the value of taking the time, sit down in front of somebody and learn something, why don't you have a class? You see what I'm saying? So when we research this information, this is what we find out, right? This is what we find out. When we research information, it's what we find out. Now let's talk about sellers. Well, I got one more thing to show you. One more thing. On top of them telling you who they are, what their marriage or relationship status is, what their education level is, we also find out what they do for a living. This is such a powerful tool, folks. I promise you, like, if you were to go somewhere else, thank Maximum One for having me on, because you go somewhere else, this is the type of information that they charge you for, right? But being able to know information like this is priceless. So not only do you know that first-time home buyers, 62% of them are women, 47% of them are single, over 60% of them are college educated, right? Now we know what they do for a living. So when we run into these people or when we have ads that are directly to these people, we know what to say, right? We know that a lot of them are interested in sales or are working in sales. We know that a lot of them are working in management. We know that they're in administrative services. So how does this apply to you and your ads? Okay, I'll give you an example. What if you said that you were going to teach people who are in sales how to understand the sales process of buying a home? Or what if you had a class specifically geared towards people who are in administrative management, right? So what if you said something along the lines, hey, hey, it's Mark Jenkins. Hey, I know you're spending your time, managing things all day. You probably do a good job with that, but guess what? I got a class coming up next Wednesday. It's going to be for people who are just like you, people who like to stay organized, and I'm going to teach you how to get everything organized to buy a home, right? These are the things that we can use to our advantage as marketers, but we can't use it if we don't understand it and we don't know it, right? So not only do we get who they are, their age, relationship status, their education level, and also what they do for a living, you're going to love this part too. Check this out. We get to find out their activity too. So remember way back when I said, know your goal, right? That's the first thing I said, understand your goal, right? So now this segment of people actually clicks on ads at double the rate of anybody else on Facebook. As you can see, The people on Facebook, median number of ads that clicked is 20. For first-time buyers, it's 47, right? So when you're looking for people to engage with your ad, now you know you have a high amount of people who are interested in what you're talking about. All right. The next thing, also, post likes. You know they're gonna like your post. You know they're gonna like the information that you're putting out, right? So how does this contrast to something else? We're gonna look at another group of people, but this is just first time buyers. So one thing that you should have learned from just this small example of first time buyers is you know who they are, women, 25 to 44, mostly 25 to 34, college educated, single, they like to click on ads, and they're gonna like your page. So now having all that information, and you also know what kind of jobs they do. Now having all that information, all you gotta do is work your way and just say, you know what? What do you think they would like to see? Make it simple. All right. So let's talk about sellers. Let's talk about sellers or people interested in selling. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna still stay in Atlanta. All right. Now we're gonna look at refinancing. I'm gonna say refinancing. Refinancing, right? So let's go on back to the demographic section. Now, as you can see, things are a little bit different, right? So now, when we're talking about refinancing, that's a different interest. Who's looking at refinancing? About 50-50. Got men and women. You know, you got the majority of people are 35 to 44, really 35 to 54. That's not going to surprise you. I mean, because obviously those are the people who own things, right? But now we have a baseline of figuring out, okay, now I don't need to have Mickey Mouse in my ad, just to keep going back to that example. Now I don't need Mickey Mouse in my ad. Now I need something serious. Now this ad may not be as much as about having fun. This ad needs to be serious. Now I might not wear a t-shirt in this ad. Now I might wear a suit, right? So it just helps you learn more things about who they are. Now also 57% of these people are married. First time buyer, the majority of them were single. Refinancing, people who are most likely looking to sell or homeowners may be interested in selling, the majority of those are married, right? So now you have a different idea on what kind of ads you can use. Now you can bring up certain issues or certain topics that are more interested to married people than versus a single person. Now you obviously can't say, whether you're single or married in your ad because that would be discrimination, but there are things that you can allude to which married people will understand a little bit more that will make the person seeing the ad be more receptive than someone else, right? So we know using things like this audience insights tool, now we can see a little bit more about what people are doing. Next thing, education level. I can't. I'm gonna keep saying it. Get some classes, folks. The people who we are working with, they are used to doing things like classes. They're not used to getting on the phone with somebody and they're just telling them, "Hey, Mr. Buyer, this is what you do: A, B, and C and D." They're not used to that, right? They're used to sitting down and going through a course and understanding what they need to do or having some type of information presented to them, which is why they love videos, which is why they'll love your ads. If you take the time to educate them about something, they are going to really enjoy what you're actually providing as well as receive it better. So one more thing here, as you can see, the type of jobs that they do, okay, and you can also see that they're also clicking on ads as well. You can see what device they use, which is also really important, by the way. You can see that 60% of these people are mobile only, which is like most people, right? But the next thing is, have you thought about doing FaceTime appointments, right? I know that 57% of people who looking to refinance their home, I know most of them have iPhones. So would it make sense to do an ad saying, "Hey, I'll FaceTime you. so you can see me, so you can understand what I'm saying. If you don't have this information, you can't use it. All right. So that's the main thing. Okay. So that's that. All right. Don't forget the research. The next thing is, all right, and we're gonna go back on out to our ads manager. All right, we're gonna talk about the importance of testing. Testing. Mark, I just left you a voicemail about your listing. It's under contract. Sorry. All right. We're gonna talk about the importance of testing here. Yes, that's fine. If we leave and it's not saved, everybody enjoying the information so far? Let me get a 1 for if you're enjoying it, 2 for if you're ready to go do something else and you're sorry you came in. All right. So we're gonna talk about the importance of testing. All right. So make sure that you test your ads. All right. You really want to make sure that you test your ads. Okay. Because your goal of advertising is to get the achieved outcome at the lowest cost possible. That's your goal. So you can't do that if you're not testing. All right. So one way to do it when you are setting up a campaign. I don't know if they removed this part. I know they did have it here earlier. I may have to. I'm just gonna create a campaign so I can show you all. There's some testing. So let's create a campaign, and I'll be as quick as possible. All right, this is just gonna be. Oh shoot, sorry. It's gonna be sample campaign. So I know to come back and delete it. All right. Now, A/B testing. A/B testing. Something they probably should be. Never mind. Let me not even go that route. A/B testing. All right. So you want to just click started, get started here. All right. And then, so we're going to you have to once you click started, you have to go ahead and get everything finished up. So daily budget is not 125. Good Lord. I'll get there. Hopefully. I know I will. All right. So we're just going to set up this category, this campaign, special ad categories. Check that off because we're in real estate and we're not supposed to be advertising without that on, or they will block your ad. So we keep going here. All right. So I'm just going to create a new ad set. And I don't know why it still says Keller Williams in Facebook. Like, I am not with Keller Williams. I have not been with Keller Williams for like 2 years now, but it still says it. So we're just gonna leave everything on optimization for delivery. I'm gonna leave all that on. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna create a little sample ad here, and then it's going to allow us to pick the parameters of testing. So you're just gonna say sample 1, Facebook page is that. Add creative, square that out. Okay. So I don't want to create a slideshow. Just give me something that I already have up. I'll just give me this one. All right, now when you're testing ads, right, you want to be strategic and pick out like what you're actually testing. So we're gonna publish this. Okay, come on. All right, so when you're testing ads, it's gonna bring up this screen here, right? And it's gonna say create A/B test. Now this is extremely important. You always want to test your ads because you want to know how you can achieve the desired goal at the lowest cost possible. Okay, that's the purpose for testing, right? So we have different variables that we can test. Only one at a time. But the reason why this is important is because we want to get the lowest cost possible for our achieved goal. Okay, so you can do image or ad text, right? So let's just say we're doing ad text. All right. So what it's going to do is it's going to choose the ad that we have now, and we're going to do the ad text. So we're gonna keep the same image or video in this case. It's going to be the same image or video in this case. And what we're going to do is we're going to test based on what I say in the ad text, which one is going to produce the lowest cost possible compared to our achieved goal. So this one says like web design and SEO, and I've been advertising on Facebook forever. So this is like my old company. Okay, I'm just gonna, you can just change something along the line, just say, you know, buy a home with me this year. Interest rates are really low. Okay, and then you can also change the headline and say Mark Jenkins real estate. All right, and then we create tests. And what Facebook is going to do, all right, is actually going to test these ads against each other for a set amount of time. So you can say, you know, your daily budget might be, you know, 20 bucks. It's going to split that budget 50-50 between campaigns. And then you're also going to have a start and an end date for testing it. And then the key thing that you're going to want to do is either cost per result, cost per click, cost per people reach. Remember, first thing you had to do was set that goal. So if you're already down here, you're like, well, I don't know what I should be looking for. Don't worry. First thing you should have did was set up that goal, right? And then they have this estimated test power, and that is, like it says here, that's just the likelihood of them detecting the difference between your ads. Okay, so cost per result, and then after you do that, you're gonna hit create test, and then that's gonna help you generate that test. Now, like I said, the benefit of doing that is making sure that you get the lowest cost possible for your achieved goal. Okay, so that's the second don't. First don't was don't forget to research. So use that audience insights tool to find out who you're advertising to, find out what they're interested in, find out who they are, married, single, age, all of that. Second thing is don't forget the test. So when you're creating your campaigns, always, always create that test group. And as you see, it's going to be running now, and I need to go and cut that off because I do not want to pay for that ad that's running right now. But always, always don't forget the test. The next thing is very simple. Don't micromanage your campaigns. Okay. And make sure I don't delete anything else. All right. Don't micromanage your campaigns. All right. So I know when you first get started with Facebook advertising, you're gonna be like, let me check in. Oh, I need to plug in my computer. Sorry, class. But you're going to think like, let me check my campaign. Let me see how many leads did I get today? How many leads did I get today? And the most tempting thing is going to be, you're going to be like, oh, I only got 2 leads today. Let me go change something. Don't micromanage your campaign, right? Have goals, have expectations, of course, but only want to, you really only want to actually do campaign changes probably every like 2 weeks or so, if that. Every 2 weeks, let your ads take this time to be able to show you what's going on with those ads and campaigns. Don't just immediately go in and like, I only got 2 ads today. I need to change it. Let me change the text, right? Because the good thing about Facebook wants to get paid. And that's a good thing. That shouldn't be a bad thing. I know you're probably like, what? How's that a good thing? Well, Facebook wants to please you as an advertiser. So you have to give your ads time for Facebook's algorithms to actually figure out who is the best people to show your ads to. Who are the most likely people to get you your anticipated result? Because Facebook don't make money unless you spend it. Okay. So don't micromanage your campaigns, right? The fourth thing is very simple and very short as well. but it's important. You need to have a follow-up system. So when you start advertising on Facebook, especially if you're going to get leads, what is the system that's available for you to make sure that you're following up with these people? Are you using things like Chime? Are you using other CRMs? Do you have an assistant who's going to call these people? Because people's attention spans are short. And also remember, if they interact with you online, they're going to interact with other ads that they see online too. So just because somebody likes your page or just because somebody attends your class, that's not the time to sit back and be like, oh yeah, well, I got all these people they attending class. Guess what? They probably already signed up for 2 other people's classes, or they probably already like 3 other realtors' pages. So what is the system that you already have in place or that you're going to put in place to make sure that these people are really staying engaged with you? Time is a good tool, right? But if you think about things like leads, right? As soon as a lead comes in through Facebook, you need to call them within 15 minutes. Because Harvard did a study that showed when online leads come in that if you take after 15 minutes, your chance of actually being able to ever get in contact with them drops dramatically. So have that system set up. If you're going to do leads, follow-up systems need to be in place. You need to really think this out. It isn't as you can't have leads just sitting in your inbox. It's like, yeah, I got this person. They wanted to buy a house. I'll call them tomorrow. No, 15 minutes, right? If somebody likes your page, you need to have a system. Reach out to them. Hey, I just saw that you liked my page. Hey, I'm Michelle Rosser. Thanks for liking my page. I wanted to invite you out to our class that we're having this week. Hey, I'm Michelle from Tampa Bay. I sell houses here in Tampa Bay. Could I actually send you some homes that we have sold in the area, or some homes that are for sale in the area, so you can get an idea of what's on the market? Have that follow-up system set up. That's how you make your money really stretch. Because sure, you can pay to get somebody to like your page or pay to get a lead, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't really convert to business. Like, I don't know about you all, but I don't advertise to be popular. Like, I have a wife that loves me, my family loves me. Like, I'm popular enough. I do this to make money. So we have to have a system set in place to really be able to follow up with these people. Okay, follow up in these people. Okay, and the last thing of don'ts, before we get to the last thing, just recap. Number one, don't forget the research. Use the audience insights tool. 2, don't forget the test. Use the A/B test tool when you're setting up your campaigns. 3, don't micromanage your campaigns. Remember, let your campaigns run for at least 2 weeks at a time, or your ads, before you actually change them, because it does take time for Facebook to figure out what works and how to best please you as their customer. 4, have a follow-up system. Have some type of database or process set up for when somebody interacts with your ad, somebody likes your page, somebody actually provides a lead to you for them to buy or sell a home. And the 5th thing of don't do is don't forget to learn and understand retargeting and also audiences, right? And so we touched on this briefly, but I'm going to go back to it because it's extremely important. So we'll go back to audiences. So let's say you've gotten everything set up. Let's say you've got like ACD, go back to ACD. Let's say you've got awareness ads set up. Yeah, I get it. I see. Let's say you set up awareness ads, you set up consideration ads, and now you got decision making ads, right? Now you've gotten somebody to actually request and say, Michelle Rosser, I want to buy a home with you. I filled in my information online. Now, how do you get more of those people, right? So do not ever forget when you're okay, just go away. Do not ever forget the power of things like lookalike audiences, right? So what a lookalike audience is, right, is you're asking Facebook to find people who are just like the people who just gave you what you wanted. So the people who just decided to do business with you, you want more of those people, obviously, right? Because you don't want to keep shooting in the dark. Like, okay, let me find somebody who wants to buy a house with me. Let me find somebody who wants to sell a house with me. Let me find somebody who likes a page, right? So Don't forget to set up things like lookalike audiences, right? And so here are some of the things that you can do. I forgot I have the Facebook picture on the time. All right, let's see. So let's talk about people who engage with my page. Well, let's get a little bit more specific. Let's go down here. Even more important. Let's go to lead converters, right? So I want to get more people like the people who have already filled out the lead form, because I know that if I find more people like them, it equals more leads. It's a higher chance of me getting more people who are just like the people who are already doing business with me than for me to just randomly find somebody else. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a lookalike audience, right? And the best thing about it is no results shown. Oh, no. The best thing about it is, right? Look at this. In the United States, out of the people who have decided to do business with me in my company, Facebook has already found 2.4 million people just like them. How powerful would that be for your business if you could essentially clone your clients? That's what this is doing. This is cloning your clients. You can find people who are just like your favorite clients. Find people who give you those 5-star reviews, and you can clone them and find more of them and do the same thing with them over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? So that is the fifth thing of what you don't want, well, don't do. Don't forget to do things like learn and understand retargeting and understand the true importance of it. Got a question here in the chat. Question here in the chat. Yes, ma'am. That's right, Michelle. That's right. And so that is part of the reason why, I'm able to get, I get anywhere from like 4 to 6 leads every day from Facebook, because I'm not guessing on who's going to be the lead after I do the things like create a funnel. After I've done the things like, okay, who wants to engage with my company? Who wants to see this nice, handsome young man on their feed, right? After they like my post, or after they like my video, right? Then I come back around. Now I'm saying, okay, well, come to my class. After they like that, after they watch that video, right? Then I circle back around and I say, okay, who wants to do business with me out of those people? So what are the chances that somebody has already liked my post, seen my video, has seen my face, they know who I am? What are the chances that they'll just take the chance and say, you know what? Let me talk to this guy about real estate. Let me see. Very high. Very high compared to somebody I'm just advertising all of Atlanta saying, hey, man, call me if you need a house. I ain't seen this dude before. I don't know who he is, right? And so I know that for a lot of people, this may have been a lot of information to take in one sitting, right? I know it may have been, but the one thing that I can do is just let you know that I'm available, I'm accessible. If you have questions, you can call me, you can text me. I'm in the Atlanta office every single day, except for days that I'm either showing houses, which is usually in the afternoon, or I have closings. I'm usually in the office every day. So if this was like too much information for you to take on at one point, like, I encourage everybody, just reach out to me. Like, I'm a helpful person. I just want to see us all be successful and grow our businesses and be able to have the resources that we need for our families. So just to recap everything one more time, the do's and don'ts of Facebook marketing. Do one, understand your goal. 2, understand the different types of campaigns. 3, come up with a good ad. 4, set goals and expectations. 5, make sure you check your metrics. Those are the 5 do's. And the 5 don'ts: 1, don't forget to research. 2, don't forget to test. 3, don't micromanage your campaigns. 4, don't go without having a follow-up system. And 5, Don't forget to learn and understand retargeting and methods and audiences. So with that, I want to open up the floor for questions or feedback or anything that y'all got for me. I want to make sure that if there's something I skipped over, I can go back and cover it for you. Um, so we can make Max win, top in the country. Uh, that's actually, so when I first got started, I did a lot of cold calling, Michelle. Um, but as time goes on, like we find that technology evolves and things that worked in the past don't really work as much now. And then they have things like the do not call list, which is always seems to be growing. So right now, I would easily estimate that probably about 70% comes from Facebook. Probably about 70%. And the reason why that I would say it's that high is because I get new leads from Facebook every single day. I don't get referrals every single day. Like I don't get referrals from past clients every single day. So like right now, it's definitely mostly Facebook. And um I have a lot of potential there. Like there's so much more business out there on Facebook to be gotten, and eventually, like I'm going to start to ramp up that outreach. But it's just a matter of having that follow up system set up, and also having things in place for you to be able to not not grow too fast, if you will. So, but yes, the majority of my business comes from Facebook. Like the closing that I had yesterday, that was from Facebook. Um, the closing, the closing that I had before that, I was from Facebook. As a matter of fact, I had three closes in July from Facebook. Um, Maybe all of my businesses just come from Facebook. Like, cause I mean, we get so many leads. I have easily like 400 to 500 leads in Chime that I'm nurturing somehow, like from Facebook. So, I would say the majority of my business it does come from. It might even be more than 70% at this point because I kind of have cut back on cold calling, and you know I'm just kind of going where the business takes me. So yeah, Facebook is a very large source of of my business right now. And then not to mention, you also through doing a lot on Facebook videos and things like that, you get people that just reach out to you too. So I mean, it isn't just lead gen in terms of like those lead ads. You get people that reach out to me. I get people that message me quite frequently, like, "Hey, Hey, I saw your video. Can you help me buy a home?" So the majority of it is on Facebook. And I mean, we have to really think as not just agents, but as business owners, right? We have to understand like that is where everything is shifting. Even the days of like 10 years from now, not even that long, only a few years from now, there are only going to be really two ways to get business: referrals or online. Think about like something like I do a lot of investing in the stock market. So if you look at a company like Carvana, for example, the car vending machine, they revolutionized the way that people actually buy cars, because what they figured out that most people start their search for a car online. They also figured out that people are tired of going to dealerships, and they also figured out that most people they already make purchases online, so they can do that. So it's the same thing with our industry, right? I haven't been in real estate but only a little bit over 3 years, but I'm sure like some of you all have been agents in the time where people actually used to walk into the office and say like, "Hey, I need help buying a home," right? That has changed to people with things like Zillow, like when people was looking for a house online, that people buy Zillow leads, right? So our industry is shifting towards really a mainly only online platform. Now, the way that we have an opportunity that we have is Okay, Zillow, as of yet, only thing that you can do on Zillow is go in and say you're interested in a home, and that lead gets sent out to somebody, right? So it's not necessarily a warm lead to you. They're not looking to talk to you per se. They're looking to actually get something done, right? We have the opportunity that places like Zillow, they haven't come up with a platform for them to actually see more information about an agent or things like that. But we have platforms like Facebook to where now, if you sit there and you go to my Facebook page, you can see me, you can see my closings, you can see me in action today. Things like this class that I'm teaching right now, I'm simultaneously streaming this on Facebook, so you can see that I'm a knowledgeable person about the things that I like to do. So we have the opportunity to show people that, and that is where things are going, and especially with things like Chime. Chime, you have your own version of Zillow, except for now it's more personalized. So if you're telling people, if you create an ad saying, hey, aren't you tired of going online and every time you're looking for a home, you run into somebody you don't know trying to get your information? Well, why don't you just use my site? You can go to my site. My site is connected to all the MLS. It has all the best information available. And guess what? Your information not being sold to somebody. You're talking to me, right? So that is just the power of what we have. And the best way to do that, and the most cost-effective way to do that is through Facebook. So I'm sorry that was a long-winded answer. Yes, 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 yes. Don't go without Realtor family. Do not go without Facebook advertising. Because if I can go back, I'll go back to my ad and show y'all one more thing, and I show more if you have questions. But one thing that I have to show you, it doesn't cost that much. It really doesn't, right? But I'll show you what I spend every day on Facebook. I can go outspend me. Anybody outspend me. I don't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm still building my business. I'm still out here trying to get it in. So, um, uh, you better not be still scheduled. Sorry about that. I just got mad that that thing was still on there. Get out of here. All right. So as of right now, I only have two campaigns running. I got other campaigns set up, but this two campaign is feeding me. So if it ain't broke, don't worry about fixing it. And as you can see, excuse me, I have two campaigns. One $10 a day, one $5 a day. $15 a day. Okay, if you won't pay $15 a day to get, let's see, I'm getting leads at an average of, well, let's just do this month because mine has gotten better. I'm getting leads at $2.10 a piece. If you won't spend $10 a day to get four leads, somebody brand new to talk to about buying or selling a home with you, I don't know what your plan is. Because guess what? When I ramp this thing up and I'm spending $100 a day and I'm getting 40 or 50 people a day interested in talking to me, what is that going to do to everybody's business who isn't? Right? So I want you all to really get into the mode of thinking this isn't like something that you can choose to do. You can't afford not to do this. You can't afford not to do this. With all the people who are buying homes here in Atlanta or whatever local market you're in, can you really afford to give up to not be spending $10 a day so you can speak to four new people? You can't do that, especially for people who want to talk to you. Can't do that. So right now, I spend $15 a day. It's $450 a month. That's it. $450 a month. That $450 a month. Let's see. $10 a day. That's 300. Okay, so that 300 leads. That $300 that I spend a month per lead is going to give me at least 130 new people every single month to talk to. Now we know, especially single agents. We know that most single agents aren't talking to 130 new people a month, let alone people who want to talk to them, right? So you all are doing great right now just by being in class and taking the first step to learn, right? The next step is put some money down with it. If you can't afford to do $15 a day, that's okay. Do five a day. 5 a day, $150. If you can't afford 5, do $2.50 a day, right? But no longer in 2020, and it's crazy to keep saying 2020 because it's about to be 2021. We cannot afford to not play in this space. Our competition will eat us alive because they're not afraid to do this. Got something in the chat here. Oh yeah, warm leads are where it's at. Got to have those warm leads. So, if you need help setting up your Facebook campaigns, like I would be glad to do a Zoom call with some of you, or however you want to do it. Michelle, I know you're in the office. You share the same office with me. So Michelle, if you want to sit down in person, like, I'll be glad to sit down with you and help you come up with some ideas and some strategies. Like, I'm not gonna charge you anything. Like, I just want to see you all be successful and win. If we have a multiple offer situation on the list, and I hope I get preferential treatment. So there we go. Cool. I'll be looking forward to that, Michelle. So does anybody else have any questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. Well, y'all don't have any more questions. I hope you enjoyed it. And this has been Tech Thursday, hosted by Mark Jenkins and Maximum One. Wordsworth, you got anything to say?
Of course not.
Cool. Well, hey, go be successful. Just know that this is gonna grow your business. This is gonna grow your sales to a point that you might have had some trouble getting to. And the blessing is that we're all with Maximum One, and Maximum One plays us a great commission split. So just think, if you had to pay Keller Williams $20,000 just to hit cap, imagine what you could do with that $20,000 on Facebook ads. So, all right, y'all, I'm going back to work. I hope y'all have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you for coming out, everybody. And this is going to be the end of our Tech Thursday. And I'll see you guys next week with another one.